Hi, and welcome to MacroTube. In today's media design lesson, we'll discuss the 5 elements of user experience. The 5 panels are strategy, scope, structure, skeleton, and surface. They provide a conceptual framework for talking about the user experience problems and the tools we use to solve them. The 5 panels of user experience are designed by Jesse James Garrett and can assist in the process of designing a digital product. Let's take a look at the panels. While working on a project, we are starting at the base, so at conception, and move up through the panels to complete our project. That means that we start off very abstract and become more concrete during the process. Starting off with the first panel, the strategy. The goal here is to define user needs and our business objectives. To do this, we have to focus on the whys. What's the reason for the product? Why do we create it? Who are we doing this for? Why do people need it? This could be done through the strategic research process, where you interview users and all stakeholders, in addition to reviewing the competing products and companies. Moving on to the scope. Our scope defines the functional and content requirements. What are the features and content contained in the application or product? How do features work and interrelate with each other? The features are defined by what the user needs to reach his goals. Our content requirements are essentially the information that makes us provide value. All the information like text, images, audio, videos, etc. can only be created if we have an idea about the size and time required to complete the project. The requirements should fulfill and be aligned with the strategic goals, so the scope is based on the strategy. Next comes structure. Structure is split into 2 components: interaction design and information architecture. Interaction design defines how users interact with the product and how the system behaves in response to user interactions. Information architecture defines the arrangement of content elements and how they are organized. Good interaction design helps people to accomplish their goals. It effectively communicates interactivity and functionality, so what the user can do. It informs them about state changes, like saves or feedback, and prevents them from making potential mistakes, for example by asking the user if he actually wants to delete something. Good information architecture makes it easy to understand and move through the information presented. The skeleton consists of interface, navigation, and information design. Interface design represents and arranges elements to enable users to interact with the system. Navigation design focuses on how to navigate through the information using the interface. And information design defines the presentation of information in a clear way that makes it easy to understand. The skeleton determines the visual form of the screen, its representation, and the arrangement of all elements the user interacts with on the interface. The skeleton also focuses on how the user moves through the information and how it's presented to make it effective and obvious. Wireframes are widely used to create a visual format in the form of static diagrams that represent a visual format of the product, including content navigation and ways of interactions. So the skeleton should answer these questions. What visual form will be presented on screen? How are interactions going to be arranged and presented? How will users move through the site or application? And how will content be presented in a clear way? The surface is the result of all the decisions we made in the previous stages. In the surface, we are dealing with visual or sensory design, so the visual appearance of the content. It determines how the product will look like in regards to layout, typography, colors, etc. The design should make things easier to understand and increase the ability to absorb the information on screen.